How's it going, guys? You're watching Fierce Rex YouTube channel. Hope you all are having an absolutely fantastic day. Today's video topic is about the top 10 best first-person shooter video games for your PC. All the games in the list is absolutely playable on a very low-end PC having only 1 GB of RAM and no graphics card. And yeah, let me remind you that all the games are placed pretty much randomly, and so I want you to value every game and consider all of them as the number 1 game. Okay, so let's start after the intro. In the number 10 spot we have Medal of Honor Allied Assault. In Allied Assault, the player takes on the role of Lieutenant Mike Powell of the United States Army Rangers who works for the Office of Strategic Services. Single-player missions include assaulting Nazi bases in Algiers and Norway, storming Omaha Beach on D-Day, and rescuing comrades behind enemy lines in occupied France. The game's levels are often compared to Steven Spielberg's 1998 film Saving Private Ryan. Many of the levels are direct quotations of the scenery, or even complete sequences as in the Omaha Beach mission, in the film. Omaha Beach was recreated in Medal of Honor, Frontline for consoles. Amazing game and absolutely worth a try. And in the number 9 spot we have Chrome SPECFORCE. Chrome is a first-person shooter, and most of the gameplay involves traversing 3D environments by foot and fighting human enemies with an array of ranged weapons. Occasionally, the player has to solve simple puzzles and find keys that allow to enter new areas. What made Chrome stand out upon its release was that a large part of the game's action takes place in vast open areas, providing some tactical freedom to the player. The player is also able to utilize 6 different kinds of vehicles that allow for fast movement and provide protection as well as heavy weaponry in some cases. Another feature that was not common at the time was the ability to slightly zoom in with every kind of weapon. Guys, it's a fantastic game and absolutely worth playing. Okay, so, coming up to the number 8 spot we have Doom 3. Doom 3 is a story-driven action game played from a first-person perspective. As with previous Doom games, the main objective is to successfully pass through its levels, defeating a variety of enemy characters intent on killing the player's character. Doom 3's more story-centered approach, however, means that the player often encounters friendly non-player characters, who provide key plot information, objectives, and inventory items. The game incorporates 10 weapons for the player's use to survive, including conventional firearms such as a submachine gun, shotgun, and grenades, experimental plasma weaponry, and the powerful BFG 9000 and chainsaw weapons of the Doom franchise. Enemies come in multiple forms and with different abilities and tactics, but fall into 2 broad categories of either zombies or demons. Absolutely amazing game and worth thinking about. So in the number 7 spot we have Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Game is played from the first-person perspective, where the player's task is to perform retrieval missions, sabotages, or assassinations. Player can be armed with a typical WW2 weaponry and can even use some fictional ones such as German-made minigun or Tesla gun. Player can also use stealth to eliminate the enemies, and some missions even force using it. Enemies vary from the standard soldiers to the undead and experimental creatures. Health is replenished by collecting health packs and food. Armor also can be collected for an additional protection. Absolutely worth thinking about. Coming up to the number 6 spot we have QUAKE 4. QUAKE 4 is a military science fiction first-person shooter video game, the 4th title in the QUAKE series. QUAKE 4 has a stronger emphasis on single-player than its predecessor and features a campaign that continues the story of QUAKE 2. However, it lacks the bot matchmaking offered in QUAKE 3. The campaign's gameplay is mostly the same as in the multiplayer but also adds friendly NPC squad members that can aid you in combat. The game also features outdoor vehicle sections during certain missions, where you can control walkers and tanks. Amazing game and absolutely worth playing. And in the number 5 spot we have Chaser. Chaser is a first-person shooter action video game developed by Cauldron. The game is built on the QUAKE NT 3D engine. The game takes place in the future, when humanity has inhabited Mars. A coalition of 36 top industrial corporations established the Mars Corp Consortium in 2036 with the goal of terraforming the planet. In 2042, Mars Corp has become the de facto autocratic government of Mars, with its director Samuel Longwood being a ruthless dictator. Meanwhile, Graham Castor's highly elusive rebels seek to liberate Mars. It's an amazing game and absolutely worth playing. So in the number 4 spot we have Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 2 is a first-person shooter that has a single-player story mode and a multiplayer mode. The player takes on the roles of several allied protagonists in specific missions during World War II. The player can crouch and lie prone, and is able to scale low walls and other obstacles. 2 firearms can be carried, which can be swapped with those left on the battlefield, and both fragmentation and smoke grenades can also be carried. A gun's iron sights can be used to aim more accurately. A compass on the heads-up display, HUD, shows both allies and enemies, and objective markers to indicate locations the player must reach, areas to defend, or enemy cannons or tanks that the player must plant explosives on to disable. Team-placed weapons such as machine guns and flak cannons are available in some locations to take out enemy troops. In addition, some missions place the player in control of a tank. Amazing game and definitely worth a try. In the number 3 spot we have Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is a multiplayer first-person shooter game developed and published by Valve. In this game there are 2 teams, one is blue and the other one is red. In most modes, the blue and red teams compete for a combat-based objective. Players can choose to play as one of 9 character classes in these teams, each with their own unique strengths, weaknesses, and weapon sets. In order to accomplish objectives efficiently, a balance of these classes is required due to how these strengths and weaknesses interact with each other in a team-based environment. Although the abilities of a number of classes have changed from earlier Team Fortress incarnations, the basic elements of each class have remained, that being 1 primary weapon, 1 secondary weapon, and 1 melee weapon. The game was released with 6 official maps, although over 110 maps have since been included in subsequent updates, including community-created maps. It's a fantastic game and absolutely worth playing. And in the number 2 spot we have Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 is a sequel to the original Far Cry. The game features an open-ended experience. Players are able to ally with one or multiple factions, and to progress through the game world and missions as they see fit, resulting in a non-linear style of gameplay commonly referred to as sandbox mode that allows the story to progress at their speed and in the order they choose. Players can use a range of vehicles, including cars, trucks, boats, and hang gliders, to travel within the 50 square kilometers 19 square miles gameplay area. The playing styles range from head-on assaults to stealthy infiltrations and assassinations. The game takes place in a sprawling African landscape, with terrain ranging from desert to savanna to jungle. Guys, this is an amazing game and definitely worth playing. Okay, at last in the number 1 spot we have CRYSIS. CRYSIS is a first-person shooter video game developed by CrySIS and published by Electronic Arts. The game is based in a future where a massive, ancient alien-built structure has been discovered buried inside a mountain in the fictional Lingshan Islands. Near the coast of the East Philippines, the single-player campaign has the player assume the role of U.S. Army Delta Force soldier Jake Dunn, referred to in-game by his call sign, Nomad. Nomad is armed with various futuristic weapons and equipment, most notably a nanosuit which was inspired by the real-life military concept of Future Force Warrior 6 in CRYSIS. The player fights both North Korean and extraterrestrial enemies in various environments on and around the island. This is the most amazing game for 1 GB RAM PC, so I want you to give it a try for even once. Okay guys, this is the top 10 games in my opinion. I hope you've enjoyed my video and please make sure to like the video and also subscribe the channel, as I upload these kind of videos oftenly, and if you want to play the best games on your PC just subscribe this channel. It's free and you can unsub whenever you want. Okay, so, with all due respect, love your parents, respect your country, and most importantly, take care of your PC. See you in the next video. Till then.